first time I met you was at a birthday party of a mutual friend. At that time, I stood on the sidelines trying not to draw anyone's attention. But my gaze couldn't leave you. You stood there smiling, chatting cheerfully with everyone, and something unfamiliar stirred inside me. You weren't the most striking person in the room, but your gentleness and grace made my heart skip a beat. We didn't talk much, but every time our eyes accidentally met, I felt there was something special. I liked you from the first sight, but I didn't dare say it. Even though we met more often, I couldn't bring myself to confess my feelings. Every time I saw you smile, I felt a deep sadness. You were beautiful, charming, but seemed perfect for a world so far removed from mine. If someone like me could ever be worthy of entering your life. Days passed and we met more often, but I remained just another ordinary friend to you. My feelings for you grew stronger with time, yet I still lacked the courage to speak them. I was afraid that one wrong word might shatter everything. Afraid that you would never see me as someone special. Just stood quietly by your side, watching you laugh, watching you converse with others, holding feelings that I could never express. Then one day, everything changed. You received the news that your parents had arranged for you to marry someone else. This person was a wealthy man from a powerful family. You protested vehemently, but your parents wouldn't listen. They said it was the best choice for your future. You couldn't fight back, and in the end, though you were unhappy, you had to accept it. I could see how much it hurt you. The look in your eyes when you heard the news pierced my heart. But I couldn't do anything but stand there and watch. For marrying this man, you still couldn't love him. Though he was rich and influential, your heart only belonged to one person, me. You refused to let him touch you, unwilling to accept a marriage without love. Your life became a lonely series of days, sleepless nights where you couldn't even cry, afraid of being discovered. Finally, after a huge argument with your family, you decided to leave everything behind. You left it all behind to come find me, to reclaim the true love you had lost. But your parents wouldn't let you go. They stopped you, even telling me that I was poor and unworthy of you. They insulted me, calling me useless, with nothing but blind love. They said I was a failure, incapable of bringing happiness to you. Despite their opposition, you decided to search for me. But fate wouldn't allow us to meet. You fell seriously ill. The doctors diagnosed you with a terminal illness, and you needed a bone marrow donor to survive. However, no one in your family agreed to donate. Your rich husband refused as well, because to him, wealth and status were more important than anything else. You were left in despair, not knowing what to do. In the end, you fell into a coma, losing all awareness. Any hope seemed lost. But then one day, when you woke up, you found yourself lying in a hospital bed. Pain still lingered, but you felt something was different. A letter had been placed beside your bed, and it contained words that you couldn't believe. I am a stranger. I have endured this painful and exhausting illness for a long time. My life no longer has meaning, but I wanted to do something good before I leave. I have decided to donate my bone marrow to you. I hope you will live well and not waste what I have given you. I don't need to know who you are, but I hope you find happiness. As you read these lines, your heart shattered. You couldn't believe what you were reading. Even though there was no name, you knew exactly who it was. Only he could have done something like this. He had quietly sacrificed, expecting nothing in return. He had given you a chance to live even though he knew you could never return to him. And now you understood it was his love for you. Tears streamed down your face uncontrollably. You felt deep regret for not having confessed your feelings when you had the chance. But now you realized that he was no longer in this world. He had left, leaving you with an invaluable gift, a chance to live, to love. In the days that followed, you sat quietly in your hospital room, not speaking to anyone. You didn't want to continue living in a world without him, but you understood that he had given you a chance to live, and that was the most precious gift he could ever give. He hadn't only given you the chance to survive, but also taught you about true love, about sacrifice without expectation. You thought long and hard. Why was life so cruel? Why couldn't we love each other fully? Why couldn't love be reciprocated at the right time? But then you realized that even though you couldn't be together, even though he had gone, his love for you would always remain. It wouldn't fade with time. You would keep his image in your heart, remembering him as an irreplaceable part of your life. You couldn't change the past, but you could live on with the memories of him, keeping him forever in your heart. You would never forget what he had done for you, and you would live well, not wasting the sacrifice he made. That was the only way to repay him, even though he was no longer with you. In the end, you decided to leave behind everything that didn't belong to you. You couldn't continue living in a world without him. You would no longer chase after the material values your parents wanted for you. You wanted to live a free life for yourself, for the things he had given you. You knew your life wouldn't be the same as before, but at least you would live with a sincere heart, with beautiful memories of our love. You didn't know what the future would hold, but you knew that his love would always be the driving force to help you rise, to live better, and not waste the chance he gave you. Every time you remembered him, you would smile, even though your heart still ached. That was acceptance. That was cherishing the love he had for you. Your life would never be the same again, but you would live well for him, for what he had done for you. And no matter what happened, his love would always be the flame that warmed your heart. You didn't need to meet him again, because in your heart, he would always be an irreplaceable part of you.
Thank you all for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.